Hey, how you doing out there in YouTube? I am Artie Rose, and I am back to do another recording here for the GLB, Greatest of All Time Baseball League in OOTP 26. We are in Season 3, and we are down. The regular season has ended. And I'm going to go right to the screen, the game screen. I want to bring up, first of all, these are the final standings. So you can see 100 games played. Cardinals and Reds are tied for the number one seed, so there's a tiebreaker. And that's going to be the game that we bring you. As you can see here, the Cardinals lost 7 of their last 10 games, while the Reds won 8. So that's why they're in a tiebreaker. In the National Conference, the Blue Jays of 1993, the Tampa Bay Rays of 2021, and the Arizona Diamondbacks all tied with the same record. Now, the Diamondbacks had losing records against both the Tampa Bay Rays and the Blue Jays, so they were knocked out, even though they had the same record. And there is a tiebreaker between the Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays to determine who is going to be the number 7 seed or the number 8 seed. There are 2 tiebreakers today before we get to the playoffs. A couple of other notable things I want to bring out. The batting leaders of the National Conference, Joe DiMaggio, led the league with a 383 average. Willie McCovey was the home run leader of the National Conference from San Francisco Giants of 1962 with 36. Joe DiMaggio led the league in RBIs with 97. Pitching, Randy Johnson from the Diamondbacks of 1999 had the best ERA. Lefty Grove won 11 games along with Randy Johnson and Todd Stottlemyre. Strikeouts leader was Red Ames from the New York Giants of 1904. Too bad it only helped him win 26 games, but he was the strikeout leader. Anyways, so in the American Conference, Honus Wagner from the 1909 Pirates led the league in hitting with a 358 average. Lou Gehrig was the home run leader from the Yankees of 1927 with 38. Enos Slaughter was the RBI leader with 95. ERA pitching was Max Lanier with a 2.24 ERA. Mort Cooper from the Cardinals won 12 games, so he led the entire league with 12 wins. Strikeouts was Orville Overall from the Chicago Cubs of 1908 on 194. So, yeah, just a notable statistics. Let us go to the... Okay, this is the score of the upcoming games for today. You can see tiebreakers. Oh, there's going to be another one. Wait a second. I'm sorry. Look at this. So these 2 tiebreakers, the loser of this game is going to play the Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks have a slight chance to still be in it. So whoever wins this game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Blue Jays becomes the number 7 seed. And then the loser of that game is going to play the Diamondbacks, and the winner of that game will be the number 8 seed. That is very interesting. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I think we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to bring you the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals, who are battling for the number 1 seed in the American Conference. So that is the plan. All right. So I'm going to take a short break, and we'll come back with this game. Okay, we're back. Had to get my hat, my baseball hat, and a little something to drink, so that my while I'm calling the game for you guys, I won't get too much of a scratchy throat, which I already have. Anyway, getting back to this screen here. So let us go to St. Louis. For the tiebreaker between the Cardinals of 1942 and the Reds of 1975. Pitching for the Reds, Pat Darcy. He had a 6-3 record with a 2.93 ERA. And for the Cardinals, Max Lanier, left-hander. Won 9 games, lost 4 with a 2.24 ERA, which was the best in the American Conference. Let's get right to it. Okay, we are here in Sportsman Park, St. Louis. Defensively for the Cardinals, you have Stan Musial in left. We have Terry Moore in center. Estelle Crabtree in right. Whitey Karofsky is at third base. Marty Marion, the shortstop. Jimmy Brown at second. And Ray Sanders at first. Behind the plate is Ken O'Day. And Max Lanier is on the mound. Batting order for the Reds. Ken Griffey, the DH, leading off. Pete Rose, the left fielder, batting second. Joe Morgan, second baseman, batting third. George Foster in right field batting cleanup. Tony Perez is batting fifth. Dave Concepcion is batting sixth. Is that Bill Plummer? Bill Plummer is catching. I don't know why Johnny Bench is not in there. Cesar Geronimo, the center fielder, bats eighth, and Darrell Chaney is the third baseman batting ninth. Now, I am curious why Johnny Bench is not in here. Johnny Bench is exhausted, that's why. Now, he needs a day off, so not a good day for him to take off, but they said they're in the playoffs anyway. They're either going to be the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed. Let's see. For the Cardinals, their catcher also exhausted. Walker Cooper, who's got a 3.15 average with 7 home runs. Cincinnati, Johnny Bench, 19 home runs, batted .282. Anyway, it is what it is. This is what happens. These ball players do get tired, and I like the AI engine that actually depicts that. So let's get this game rolling with the first pitch. Ken Griffey, lefty against lefty. Ground ball, second base, over to first, and that's the first out. That was Jimmy Brown over to Ray Sanders. Pete Rose steps in. Pete Rose batting .269 with 4 home runs. Didn't have the greatest year. The pitch, and hits him. So Rose is on. Joe Morgan batted .327 with 13 home runs, 52 RBIs. Is up, man on first, 1 out. The pitch, and he walks him. Now it's first and second. For George Foster. George Foster, 17 home runs. I believe he led the team. Let's just look. I think he led the team in home runs. No, actually, Johnny Bench had 19, and that led the team. Anyway, here's Foster against Max Lanier. Pitch. Ground ball, second base, could be 2, and it is a double play. 2 outs. That's it. It ends the inning. So the threat goes by the boards, and Cincinnati does not score. Okay. Batting order for the Cardinals. Terry Moore, center fielder, leads off. Estelle Crabtree bats second. Stan Musial bats third. Enos Slaughter, the designated hitter, bats fourth. Ray Sanders, fifth. Whitey Karofsky, the third baseman, bats sixth. Ken O'Day, the catcher, bats seventh. Marty Marion, the shortstop, bats eighth. And Jimmy Brown, the second baseman, is batting ninth. Defensively for the Reds, Pete Rose in left. Cesar Geronimo in center. George Foster in right. Darrell Chaney at third. Dave Concepcion at short. Joe Morgan at second. Tony Perez at first. Behind the plate, Bill Plummer, I'm sorry. Now here is Darcy. Won 6 games, lost 3. The pitch. And he tried to check his swing there, but couldn't hold up, and that's the first out. Estelle Crabtree batted .284 with 14 home runs. Pitch. That is a shot to third over the first, 2 outs. Stan Musial, the great Stan Musial, batting .335, 17 home runs and 62 RBIs. The pitch. Fly ball left field should be easy for Pete Rose, and it is. And that is it. So after 1 inning, there is no score here in St. Louis. Top of the second. Tony Perez is going to lead it off, followed by Dave Concepcion and Bill Plummer against Lanier. The pitch from Lanier. Fly ball, line drive in the corner. That's going to be at least a double. And he's going for third, and he's going to be out. Tony Perez, trying to stretch a double into a triple, is thrown out at third. Great play. Dave Concepcion batted .234 with 4 home runs and 34 RBIs. Is up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 2 outs. Bill Plummer, the catcher, in there for Johnny Bench, who needs a day's rest after a grueling final 10 games that the Reds won 8 out of 10. Needs a rest. Here's Bill Plummer. Line drive caught by the shortstop, and that will do it. So nothing across. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. Nobody left on. And the score is still 0-0. Okay, bottom of the second inning. Leading off, Enos Slaughter. He'll be followed by Ray Sanders and Whitey Karofsky for the Cardinals. Pat Darcy only had 8 pitches in that first inning. Here he is against Slaughter. Line drive caught by Marty Marion for the first out. Dave Concepcion. Excuse me. Here's Ray Sanders. Pitch. Fly ball. Concepcion goes out and gets it in short left center field. 2 outs now. Whitey Karofsky batted .266 in the 100-game season with 14 home runs and 52 RBIs. Darcy kicks and deals, and he hits him. So there's a man on base now with 2 outs for the Cardinals. Ken O'Day, the catcher, who is also in there for their regular catcher, Walker Cooper, will step in. O'Day only had 95 at-bats, but he hit 5 home runs and batted .232. Here is the pitch from Darcy. And there goes Karofsky, and he's in there with a stolen base. So Karofsky with his 9th stolen base of the season. So now, with a 2-0 count, Darcy's going to deal to O'Day. Fly ball way back, and it is going to be out of here. O'Day, Ken O'Day, builds a 2-run home run to get the Cardinals of 1942 on the board. There you go. How about that? Substituting for the regular catcher. Does his job. So the Cardinals are up here, 2-0. That'll bring up Marty Marion. Marty Marion bat .245 with 2 home runs. The pitch. That's going to be a line drive sliding catch by George Foster in right field to end the inning. But the Cardinals get 2 runs on the home run by O'Day, and the score at the end of 2 is the Cardinals 2 and the Reds nothing. Top of the 3rd inning now. Max Lanier's got 27 pitches. He's going to face Cesar Geronimo, Darrell Chaney, and then the top of the order, Ken Griffey. So here's Geronimo. Pitch. Ground ball picked up over the first, 1 out. Darrell Chaney steps in. Chaney batting .211 with 7 home runs, 44 RBIs. The pitch. Ground ball, soft ground ball. Marion's up with it over the first, and they get him. That's 2 outs. Ken Griffey, the top of the lineup, steps in. Pitch. Called strike 3, and that'll do it for the Reds in the top of the 3rd. Score remains 2-0. Jimmy Brown, the second baseman, is going to lead off for the St. Louis Cardinals in 1942 against Darcy. Darcy's got 29 pitches coming into the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch to Brown. Ground ball through the infield, past the diving Joe Morgan for a base hit. So that'll bring up Terry Moore, the the leadoff hitter. Excuse me. He's batting .281. He's 0 for 1. Man on first, nobody out. The pitch. Up the middle, popped up behind the plate. Sometimes the graphics are a little tricky. That's the first out. Estelle Crabtree, the right fielder, steps in. Man on first, 1 out. Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Crabtree. And there goes Jimmy Brown to 3rd base. So, men on first and 3rd for Stan Musial. Musial had the best average on the team, about .334. He had 17 home runs and 62 RBIs. Dangerous hitter. There he is, face. And there is a fly ball. Pete Rose takes it. Jimmy Brown tags and scores. So now the score is 3-0. With 2 outs, man on first. Enos Slaughter, the dangerous Enos Slaughter. .326, 28 home runs, 95 runs batted in. Steps in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that will do it for the Cardinals here in the 3rd inning. At the end of 3, the 1942 Cardinals 3 and the Cincinnati Reds of 1975 nothing. We will take a short break and be right back after this. Okay, we're back. I'm going to go right back into the ball game. We're in the fourth inning. And the Reds are coming up. They're going to send up Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, and George Foster. They're down 3-0 against Max Lanier. Max Lanier, 42 pitches. There's 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. Here's the pitch to Rose. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's his 3rd strikeout. Joe Morgan steps in. The pitch. Cold strike 3. Lanier seems to be getting stronger as the innings draw on. George Foster steps in, 0 for 1. And he hits him. That's 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. Go figure. Tony Perez steps in with a man on first and 2 outs. Fly ball, center field. Terry Moore is there, puts it away, and that's it for the Reds' top of the 4th. Score still 3-0. Okay, bottom of the 4th inning now. The Cardinals are going to send up Ray Sanders, Whitey Karofsky, and Ken O'Day, I'm sorry. Darcy's got sitting at 46 pitches. He's given up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 2, and didn't walk anybody yet. Here he is against Sanders. Line drive down the line, just fair past third base. And that is a double for Ray Sanders. And that'll bring up Whitey Karofsky. Karofsky batting .266 with 14 home runs. Pitch. Ground ball. Check the runner over the first. 1 out. Ken O'Day hit a 2-run home run his last time up. That was his 6th home run of the season. Even though this isn't really officially a season, it's a tiebreaker, but they count it. They count all the stats from these games into the regular season stats. So here's O'Day. And he's safe. And the ball gets past him, and he's going to score. Ray Sanders steals 3rd, and a throwing error by Bill Plummer allows him to score, and now the score is 4-0. Cardinals. So O'Day now, 1 out, nobody on. The pitch, and he walks him. That's Plummer's. That was the first walk for Darcy, and that's going to do it. They're going to take him out. The manager of the Reds has seen enough. Will McEnany is going to take over. McEnany, a middle reliever, won 4 ball games this year. Didn't lose any. Pitched 51 pitches at an ERA of 4.73. Struck out 46. He's going to face Marty Marion with a man on first. And 1 out. Pitch. That's going to be dropped in for a base hit for Marty Marion. So now 1 out. And first and second. Runners at first and second for Jimmy Brown. Jimmy Brown had a hit his last time up. Pitch. And he's going to have another hit. There he is. Runner's going to hold. So the bases are loaded with 1 out for the Top of the lineup, Terry Moore. The pitch. They get the runner at first, and that's all they get. They stopped the run from scoring as the infield was in. Now there's 2 outs, bases loaded for Estelle Crabtree, who had to hit his last time up against Will McEnany. Pitch. Ground ball picked up by the pitcher McEnany over the first, and that'll do it. But not before St. Louis adds another run on 3 hits and now lead the Reds 4-0 going to the 5th inning. Hal Lanier still in there with 62 pitches, going to face Dave Concepcion, Bill Plummer, and Cesar Geronimo. Here's the pitch from Lanier. Long fly ball, way back for Concepcion, and there it is, gone. Dave Concepcion, a solo home run to put the Cincinnati Reds on the board here and make the score 4-1. That was Concepcion's 5th home run of the season. Bill Plummer, the catcher, steps in. Nobody out, nobody on. The pitch. Fly ball, right field. Taken by Crabtree for the first out. Cesar Geronimo, the center fielder, steps in. 0 for 1. Pitch. Called strike 3, and that's the second out. Darrell Chaney, the third baseman. 0 for 1, steps in with 2 outs and nobody on. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it. But the Reds finally get on the board with their second hit, which was a home run solo shot by Dave Concepcion. So now we go to the bottom of the 5th. Stan Musial will lead it off, followed by Enos Slaughter and Ray Sanders. McEnany still in there. Here's the pitch to Musial. And that's going to be a base hit to right field. So Musial's on with a base hit. Enos Slaughter, team leader in home runs with 28, steps in against Will McEnany. Pitch, pass ball, or wild pitch, and Musial's on second. Wild pitch. Enos Slaughter now with a 3-1 count. Pitch, ground ball, second base. They get the out at first, and Musial goes to third. So now 1 out, man on third for Ray Sanders. Pitch, and that's going to be a base. No, he catches it on the line drive. And the runner holds. That was quite a play in right field by George Foster. So now Whitey Karofsky steps in with Stan Musial on third and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Ground ball, Concepcion over the first, and that's it. So the Cardinals do not score, and the score is still 4-1. Top of the 6th now, and the Reds send up the top of their order. Hal Lanier's got 78 pitches. He struck out 6 and walked 1 so far. The pitch to Griffey. Fly ball, center field. Terry Moore's there, puts it away for the first out. Pete Rose steps in. Pitch. Fly ball, right field. Crabtree is there, and that's the second out. Pitching change now for the Cardinals. I guess after about 80 pitches, Max Lanier felt he couldn't go on. They're going to bring in Lon Warneke. Warneke had a record of 4-6 with a 3.49 ERA. Warneke has got good stamina. Pitched in 38 games, saved 3, 80 innings. So he does about a little over 2 innings a game when he does come in. So here he is to face Joe Morgan with nobody on and 2 outs. Pitch. Ground ball. Shortstop picks it up. Marry it over to first. And that is the inning. So Cincinnati goes down in order, and the score is still 4-1 here. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning. McEnany's still in there. He's going to face Ken O'Day, Marty Marion, and Jimmy Brown. Here's O'Day. Pitch. Line ground ball picked up by the shortstop, Concepcion, over to first, and they get him. 1 out. Ball looked like it was short hopped. Marty Marion steps in. 1 for 2. Ground pop fly. First baseman takes it, and that is the 2nd out. Jimmy Brown steps in. He's 2 for 2, Jimmy Brown. Here he is against McEnany. Pitch. And that's going to be a base hit to center field. A 2-out single. And that does it for McEnany. The Reds bring in Tom Hall. Try to keep these Cardinals from scoring anymore. Hall, 2-2 on the season, 5.36 ERA. Struck out 50 in 40 innings. Here he is against Terry Moore, top of the lineup for the Cardinals with Jimmy Brown on second. The pitch, ground ball, shortstop takes it himself, and that's the inning. So, at the end of 6, the score is still the Cardinals 4 and the Reds 1. We're going to take a short break and bring you the last 3 innings, unless we go to a tie, and have to go extra innings, but that's going to be, we'll see what happens when we come back. Okay, we are back to give you the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings of this tiebreaker between the Cardinals of 1942 and the Reds of 1975. So far, it's been a good ball game. Here we are back at Sportsman's Park. And here we are. The Reds are going to stand up George Foster, Tony Perez, and Dave Concepcion against Lon Warnke. Warnke pitched out of the last inning with only 4 pitches. So here he is against Foster. Fly ball center field. Terry Moore is under it, and he takes it. A routine fly ball for the first out. Tony Perez steps in. Perez 1 for 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 2 outs. That'll bring up Dave Concepcion, who hit a solo home run his last time up to get the Reds on the board and avoid the shutout. So here's Concepcion. And a ground ball picked up by the first baseman, Ray Sanders, and that is it. We go to the 7th inning stretch, and the score is still 4-1 here. Cardinals are going to send up Estelle Crabtree, Stan Musial, and Ina Slaughter against Tom Hall. Let it play out. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's get back to playing ball. Here's Estelle Crabtree. And it's a called strike 3 for the first out. Stan Musial, 1 for 2, and an RBI. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the second out. Ina Slaughter. Pitch. Ground ball to the pitcher, picks it up, and they get him, and the Cardinals go down in order here in the 7th. After 7, score still 4-1. St. Louis Cardinals over the Cincinnati Reds. Cardinals are going to put in another pitcher, Clyde Schoen. Schoen, a 1.96 ERA. He had 4 saves. He won 2 games and lost 2 games in 37 appearances. He's going to face Bill Plummer, Cesar Geronimo, and Darrell Cheney here in the 8th. Here he is against Geronimo. And there's a fly ball line drive, and it's taken by Crabtree for the first out. Cesar Geronimo. The pitch. And called strike 3 for the second out. That'll bring up Darrell Cheney. Darrell Cheney 0 for 2. The pitch from Schoen. Popped up in the infield. Marion takes it for the third out, and that ends the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's still 4-1 Cardinals. Tom Hall still in there for the Reds. Going to face Ray Sanders, Whitey Karofsky, and Ken O'Day. Here is the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit. And he's trying to stretch it into a double, and he does it. Wow, that looked like it was just a single. But Sanders got a little bit of speed, stretched it into a double. So we have man on second, nobody out for Whitey Karofsky. Pitch, swing and a miss, out number 1. Ken O'Day, he had a home run back in the 2nd inning. His 6th of the year. Pitch. Walked him. First and second, 1 out. Marty Marion steps in. 1 hit and 3 at-bats. And there is a base hit to the wall. Definitely going to be a double and maybe score the 2 runs. Scores 1 run. But they didn't send O'Day. So 1 out. Runners on second and third for Jimmy Brown. Brown's 3 for 3 in his game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 outs. That's going to be it for the Cincinnati pitcher, Tom Hall. And they're going to bring in Jack Billingham. Billingham won 3 games, lost none with a 4.42 ERA. He saved 4 games, 39 appearances. He's going to face Terry Moore, top of the lineup. 2 outs, 2 men on. And here is the pitch. And that's up. Ground ball picked up by Marion over the first, and that does it. But the Cardinals add another run, and now we go to the top of the 9th, and they lead this tiebreaker 5-1. Clyde Schoen is going to stay in there and try to put it away for the Cardinals here, as the Reds send up the top of their order. Ken Griffey, Pete Rose, and Joe Morgan. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 out. Pete Rose, 0 for 2 in this ball game. Fly ball, that's in the gap. That goes all the way to the wall. That's definitely going to be a double. And Pete Rose is in with a double. A 1-out double. Joe Morgan steps in. 1 out. Runner on second. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 2 outs. George Foster is the last hope for the Reds here. Here's the pitch. And that is a base hit. And Rose is going to stay at third. So a 2-out single by George Foster brings up Tony Perez. Perez, 1 for 3. There's 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Top of the 9th. And he strikes him out, and that is the ball game. So the 1942 Cardinals are victorious here in the tiebreaker and now claim the number 1 seed in the American Conference for the playoffs. And the Reds will be the number 2 seed. So that is it from Sportsman's Park here in St. Louis. We're going to go now and check out. Now the Toronto Blue Jays handily beat the Tampa Bay Rays 8-3. So now the Blue Jays are the number 7 seed in the National Conference. And tomorrow, the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be playing the Arizona Diamondbacks to see who's the number 8 seed and who's going home. The Blue Jays, let's go to the standings here. Let's see now. So, the Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks were 5-5. With this, the Tampa Bay Rays have won 8 of their last 10 games. So it's going to be another tiebreaker tomorrow to see who is in as the number 8 seed and who is not. Now that was That was fun to watch that game. And this is a very interesting scenario. We're going to take a short break and be right back. Okay, so wrapping it up for today, we saw a great ball game, tiebreaker, and the St. Louis Cardinals, who are defending their championship from season 2 here in the GLB, will be the number 1 seed in the American Conference. We're going to wrap this up here today, and we're going to be back hopefully tomorrow, and we will bring you the tiebreaker between the Diamondbacks and the Tampa Bay Rays to see who is in the playoffs and who will be eliminated. So until then, have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.